We have said that throughout this course, we are going to use GitHub to manage our code. So let us go to Visual Studio and push our code to a new GitHub repository. And then we're going to talk how we are going to structure our branches in the GitHub repository. For that, let's go to Visual Studio. In here, since we have not pushed our code to GitHub yet, what we are going to do is that here on the bottom right, you have this add to source control. We're going to click that button and then select Git. And then you'll get in here this pop-up. Now, I am already logged into my GitHub account, but if you are not, you are going to be prompted with a login form. In here, I've selected my GitHub account, which is Trupja. I am the owner of the account. And then you need to define the repository name. I'm going to name this repository just shortly. And then a description is going to be, this is the repository for the URL shortener course. This is not a private repository. This is going to be a public one, so anyone can access this repository. I'm going to uncheck the button and then click the create and push. Here you can see that this code will be pushed to github.com, then /itrupja, which is my GitHub username, and then shortly, which is the repository name that we defined up here. So let us click create and push. Let us save. Meanwhile, I'll just go to github.com and then itrupja, which is my username. And then if I go to repositories, you'll see that my repository was created. If I click on this repository, you are going to see that I am on the master branch, which is the default branch. And then inside here, I have the shortly.slm, which is the solution file. And then I have the client, the data, and the redirect applications. So this is the initial setup, but moving forward, we are going to have different parts. So we're going to have different tutorials. One might be just how you can add, for example, the login button. One can be how you can shorten a URL, etc. What's important is how you can navigate in this code. So let us say that you don't want to watch the whole course, but you just want to watch a specific part. So you want to see, for example, how you can create a new user and add this user to the database. And let's say that happens in part 30. Now, for you to be able to watch just that part and get the most out of it, you need to also use the code. And what you can do is that you can check out the GitHub repository branch just for that part and then work on that branch. Each part is going to have two branches, the begin branch and the end branch. So what I'll do is that whenever I work, for example, on that branch 30, I'm going to create a 30b branch first. I'm going to create it, let's say, from the branch 29, but in this case, I'll just assume that I'll create it from the branch master. And then in here, I'm going to add all the code or whatever code changes you will see on the screen. And then I'm going to create a branch 30e, which is for end, from the branch 30b. And then I'm going to push both branches to the GitHub repository. So basically, whenever you start to watch a certain part, let's say part 30, you check out the branch 30b for beginning, and you can use that branch to type your code. And if you want to check then your code against my final code, then you can compare your branch with my 30e, which is for the 30 end.